pain. There are certainly many different usages for that word. Physical pain, like a broken finger or a torn ACL. Mental pain, like dealing with a death or a life-altering illness or mental health issues. And especially when it comes to sports teams. Teams like the Atlanta Falcons, the Cleveland Browns, the Seattle Mariners, the Toronto Maple Leafs, among many others who share significant moments in their history that rot in their memory banks for long periods of time. But if there was ever a team that experienced more pain throughout their history, it is none other than the Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, the pain that this team has suffered has been so bad for so many years, but it's become more prevalent in recent seasons, with a potential 2021 playoff run taken away because you decided to call timeout against the Raiders, who could have helped you make the playoffs with a tie, but the interim head coach said, fuck it, we're going for the win. Raiders in, Chargers out, Steelers in. Al Michaels. To a 2022 wildcard bout when you were up 27-0 over a Jacksonville Jaguar team that barely made the playoffs, only to blow said lead and allow Jacksonville to win, to 63-21 against the Las Vegas Raiders on a Thursday night in December 2023. And those are just in the last 4 years. The Chargers' pain reaches so far back that there is literally a term coined for it. Chargering describes the team's tendency to collapse after holding a late-game lead. That is the Chargers in general. Come out on top, but never finishing the job. The Chargers last year made a big move to get national championship winner Jim Harbaugh back in the NFL as their head coach. And the move paid off. Sort of. The Chargers made the playoffs again in 2024 and actually had a lead in the first half against the Houston Texans. Until the Texans came back and won that game in the second half. You can take the chargering out of the Chargers, but you can't take the Chargers out of the chargering. 2025 started off promisingly for the Los Angeles Chargers with a dominant win over the defending AFC champs in Kansas City in Brazil. But despite suffering key injuries with newcomer running back Marion Hampton and big free agent pickup Najee Harris gone, and critical offensive line injuries in Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, the Chargers are still hanging in there at 6-3. In a battle to take down Mahomes and the Chiefs from their perch at the top of the AFC West for the first time in nearly a decade, the Chargers are trying to keep that momentum train going as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tonight, on the Reviewing Network Live, Sunday night NFL Rewatch. The following is a presentation of the Reviewing Network Sports. Los Angeles, Hollywood, California, Tinseltown, La La Land, whatever you want to call it, it's the site of tonight's Sunday night NFL matchup, and SoFi Stadium is the venue that will hold this special event. It will also be the host of some events coming up in the 2028 Olympics, but tonight, it's the Los Angeles Chargers hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers in a game that both teams desperately need to keep up the pace with their competitors in each division. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Reviewing Network Live Sunday Night NFL Rewatch, our third of these 4 games. We have one more after this one next week. But tonight, it's all about the Los Angeles Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers coming in at 5-3, coming off a very impressive win last week over the best team in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts, who had the best record going into last week, but then they lost. But they won earlier today in Germany against Atlanta, so they are still pretty much at the top of the best of the teams in the NFL right now. The Chargers, their season overall has been pretty interesting. They started off pretty strong, 3-0, beat the Kansas City Chiefs on their first game of the year in Brazil, and then it's been kind of a rough patch overall. They've been okay, but they have lost a lot of key players in the last couple of weeks and months since that 3-0 start in general. So yeah, they have been struggling a little bit, but they are still very much up there with the Denver Broncos in the division at 6-3. A win tonight will be a big thing for them, and a win tonight for the Pittsburgh Steelers is big too, because remember, Baltimore won today against Minnesota. Cleveland lost today to the New York Jets, but Cincinnati is on their bye week, and next week's that big matchup between the Steelers and Bengals, the rematch from last month's Thursday Night Showdown. And yeah, this could be a game that can go either one of two ways for both teams. I mean, both teams right now have an opportunity to win this game, and for good reason. Justin Herbert and the Chargers are still hanging on despite all the trouble, all the injury problems on the offensive front. They lost two key offensive linemen this in the last month, Joe Alt, and even before that, Rashawn Slater was out for the season. But they brought Trevor Penning in tonight, and it looks like he is going to play tonight. I have the list right here of the inactives here for this game that's going to be playing in about an hour and 20 minutes from now. It's coming up on 7 o'clock here where I'm recording this, but this is a game that can go either way for both of these teams here. We're going to see what happens here, and it could do wonders for both teams in general here. Hopefully, on my part, I will try to be a little more professional, unlike the last time the Steelers played, but I'm not making any guarantees, but I promise I will do my best to try to keep my composure. And by the way, myself will cue a future clip of me losing my mind at the end of this game when the Steelers are losing. Just watch. How are they going to do it? A run? Quarterback's going to take it. It's going to be a run. Touchdown. Motherfucker! But anyway, to the inactives we go here. For the home team Chargers, we will not see Tony Jefferson tonight, nor will we see Tarheeb Still, the cornerback. A couple of own linemen for the Chargers are out. Kyle Kennard for the was an outside linebacker, not the tackle. But there are two tackles out tonight. Bobby Hart and Foster Sorrell are out. Wide receiver Keandre Lambert-Smith is out. And Will Disley, the tight end, is out too. He's a former Steeler and a former Seahawk. Speaking of the Steelers, we will not see Scotty Miller this evening, wide receiver. We will not see Jabril Peppers. We will not see Cole Holcomb. We will not see Isaac Seumalo for the guard. That is a big loss for the Steelers' offensive line right there. But he got injured last week in the Colts game, did not return for that one. But Logan Lee is also out, as well as Broderick Martin-Rose, who they just brought in this week from Detroit. So we're also going to see some new additions in this game too for the Steelers. We have the big one being Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who was signed on Monday. It was announced on Monday, but then they didn't announce it until Wednesday after the trade deadline. Even though there were floating rumors that the Steelers were trying to get a wide receiver to go alongside with DK Metcalf. They were in the position for Jalen Waddle. They didn't get him, so. But, we'll see. It's looking like we'll see Marquez Valdes-Scantling tonight for the first time. And, of course, Kyle Duggar was their big trade acquisition from last week. We saw him in the game against the Colts, so we'll see how this works out tonight. Hopefully the Steelers will have a better primetime performance than they did the last time around. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are 0-2 in primetime right now, which is very, very rare for them. So we'll watch. We'll see what happens, and I'll be back with you in about an hour and a half, but for you, it'll be just in a couple of seconds. Just getting ready to kick things off here, and by the way, if you want to come down to this game, tickets are still on sale for as low as $364. California, my friend. California love. Well, this was originally going to be the Najee Harris Bowl, but of course, got injured early on the season. He's out for the year, so should still be an intriguing matchup regardless. The Steelers and the Chargers have been in several very, very interesting matchups over the last couple of years. A lot of games where they've been to two AFC Championship games with the Chargers beating them out one time, and then when they made the playoffs again, 14 years later, it was the Steelers that got revenge on them, and they went on to the AFC Championship game that year in 2008. Of course, they went on to the Super Bowl. In the meantime, we are getting ready to get things going here. Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite in this matchup here. ESPN has the matchup predictor at 61.6% for the Chargers, 38.1% for the Steelers. It's just funny because NBC had the Steelers at 51%, so it's a real pick'em right here. But we don't know what kind of Steelers and Chargers we're going to see tonight. But the referee that we're going to be seeing this evening is Brad Rogers. That's who we'll be seeing here. It's a lovely 62-degree evening inside of SoFi Stadium. The stadium, of course, mostly domed with a little few areas with the air comes in. Nice weather up there. A lot of bad weather today in a lot of games. A lot of rain, a lot of snow. The Chicago game. I think there's going to be snow tomorrow in the Packer game too on Monday Night Football. And we're going to get snow up here in Pittsburgh I think tomorrow too. So yeah, we're getting our first snowfall of the year, man. And yeah, I'll take it because I'm a big winter person. I'm like Elsa from Frozen. The cold doesn't bother me anyway. I got dinner here too, so you'll hear me snacking on that while I'm watching this too. Completely unprofessional, I know, but hey, what else can you do?
We got Jim Harbaugh, second season as the Chargers head coach, and 9 regular season record. Lost in the 2024 wild card to the Texans. Mike Tomlin, 19th season, no losing season for the Steelers head coach, longest streak to begin a head coaching career in NFL history. Will that change this year? Still to be determined. It's still a tough schedule for the Steelers after this game. Bengals, Bears, Bills, Ravens twice, Dolphins, Lions, Browns again. Gonna be a rough stretch of the road again. Hopefully we'll see better circumstances this time around. Lots of Steeler fans out there, as you can see if you're watching along here on NBC. We Steeler fans travel very well. I don't, but a lot of people, Steeler fans, do. So let's see, who's getting the ball first? Looks like it'll be the Steelers who will get it first, because Kenneth Gainwell is ready to proceed the kick from, is it Cameron Dicker? Cameron Dicker, the kicker. Lovely evening tonight. Glad you folks can be joining us here for the third of 4 consecutive Sunday night NFL rewatches. Our next one will be the last one until the end of December, depending on a flex game, of course. That one will be the Lions and the Eagles. We'll touch on that later on as we are underway from Los Angeles, and it will be out of bounds. And I think that means the Steelers get it at the 40, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's the penalty for the new. Yep. It's going to be at the 40-yard line. That is not the Brad Rodgers I thought it was. I'm thinking of the other Brad Wing. Aaron Rodgers, Jaylen Warren, Calvin Austin, DK Metcalf, Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, Broderick Jones, Spencer Anderson, Zach Frazier, Mason McCormick, Troy Fatano. So who do they fill the void with Sayamala with? I guess Spencer Anderson. Steelers start at the 40-yard line. Let's hope for better success this time around for Aaron Rodgers of the Steelers. They'll flip it back to Jaylen Warren to start, and it's going to be a quick false start. Anders Pete actually is the one that is going to be the one starting for them. So it's going to be 1st and 15 back at the 35-yard line. Former New Orleans Saint called for that one. And that's not a good start. That's not a bad start going. That's not a bad sign going forward. That's a bad sign going forward is what I'm trying to say. Something's happening. Clock problems. So what is it? Yeah, the bottom is 15 minutes, and the little thing in the audience is 14:58. So which one is it? We got a house band up there? Okay, now we're moving. From the 35-yard line for the Steelers. Jaylen Warren in the backfield once again. Rodgers going to throw. Finds his man and just barely got that in the hands of Jaylen Warren for a pickup of about 3 yards. That did not look like it was getting to him. It looked like it was hitting the ground, but Aaron Rodgers, 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, most by a Steelers QB since Ben Roethlisberger's last year in 2021. 69% completion percentage, passing yards, 212 yards per game average. 2nd down and 12 coming up. Rodgers to throw again. Finds Calvin Austin. He's going to get close to the first down, right at midfield. Looks like might be midfield. 46-yard line of Pitt. So it's not technically midfield. You get the idea. So 3rd down and 4 coming up. Have to get to midfield for the first down. Under 14 minutes to go. 3rd and 4. Darnell Washington on the move. Number 80 at the top. Rodgers to throw again. Scrambles. Rodgers fires. Incomplete. That one intended for Calvin Austin. And a quick 3-and-out to start for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is number 26. I don't know who exactly that is. I don't have the thing up here. It's going to be a quick 3-and-out for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So now Corliss Waitman will punt it away to Darius Davis. And it looks like Darius is going to call for the fair catch, which he will. So 13:30, and the Chargers offense will go to work. Justin Herbert, Kimani Vidal, Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Oronde Gadsden II, Austin DeCoulis, Zion Johnson, Bradley Bozeman, Mekhi Becton, Trey Pipkins. So Oronde Gadsden's a name that the Steelers should be watching for tonight, of course, because of course the Steelers have a lot of problems when it comes to guarding tight ends and all that. So yeah, that could be something very important to watch over the course of the evening. Gadsden could have a big night if they're not careful. They'll give it up first to Kimani Vidal, who will not get much. Malik Harrison and Keanu Benton are the one to stop him. I think that's a second and 8, 2-yard pickup. Justin Herbert's numbers. 68% completion percentage, 266 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Second in the NFL, 34 rushing yards per game, too. That's another thing the Steelers need to watch out for on defense, that Justin Herbert can run. 2nd down and 8. Herbert going to throw, going to fire. That's complete. That is to Trey Harris, and it's not much. He actually lost a yard on that one. That is Brandon Echols with the tackle there. Of course, he had the big special teams play last week that jump-started the Steelers against the Colts. Grabbing that muff punt by Indianapolis. So 3rd down and 9 coming up. See on the screen, 25 tackles, 1 interception. 3rd and 9. Herbert fires, going for the tight end, not there. Incomplete. That was intended for the aforementioned Oronde Gadsden. So 3-and-out for both teams to start this game off. Like I said, tight ends tonight are going to be a big factor for the Steelers tonight to stop. Oronde Gadsden's been one of those guys that's been getting more and more attention as the injuries start to pile up here. Keyshawn Williams waiting to receive the punt from Scott. Oh, that almost got blocked. Excellent field position for the Steelers. That's going to go on past the 50. It's going to be in the Charger territory, I think. At the 45-yard line. So that's where the Steelers will start an excellent field position for Aaron Rodgers and company when we come back. No score just yet. Got a preview for next Sunday's last international game of the NFL season in Madrid, Spain, which, may actually not be as bad as intended. Washington and Miami, we still don't know if Jaden Daniels will be back, but he didn't go on injury reserve, so he may miss about 2 games, even though he had a really bad-looking shoulder injury last Sunday night. And then, of course, the Dolphins, who beat the Bills today in one of the probably the most shocking win of the day today. There was a lot of shocking wins, but I'll touch more on that later on here. Steelers starting an excellent field position here as Aaron Rodgers is going to start this drive at the 46-yard line. Rodgers gives it to Jaylen Warren, who finds a little bit of a lane and gets about 4 yards on the play there, tackled by Ibiagi and Oweya. Khalil Mack, Deshaun Hand. These are your defensive starters for the Chargers. Demir Caldwell, Tier Tart, Tuli Tuipulotu, Dayon Henley, Denzel Perryman, Cam Hart, Derwin James Jr., Elijah Molden, Dante Jackson, the former Steeler, But Awaya, of course, was traded to from the Ravens not too long ago. As we got to look at Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator here. 2nd and 6 now. Have to get to the 36 for the first down. Gives it to Warren again, and Warren, not much there. Looked like he had a little bit of a lane, but only got about a yard on that one. So it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. They are in field goal range, but they would love to get more. But hey, a field goal by Chris Boswell is almost an instant winner here. Almost, but we'll see. They say that, and then he completely misses it this time around. So 3rd down and 5 coming up. Kenneth Gainwell now in the game. Johnny Smith on the move. Like clock to 2. Get it off. Rodgers does. Gets away from one tackler. Goes deep down the field for Metcalf. Not there. Incomplete. Would have caught it for a touchdown if he was right in the area. So it'll be another 3 and out for the Steelers on this first drive. But they may get some points off of this one here. Should they like to go for the field goal, which they're in just Chris Boswell's range, so I would think they would. Yeah, Metcalf had a wide lane to get there. Just had to get a little bit more running room. Boswell to kick, and it is from 59 yards, and it is good. Immediately cut right back to it, and the Steelers with the first lead of this game, 59 yards, and the kick is good, and we have a 3-0 Steelers lead to start this game here. 10:25 to go in the first. Chargers got back on offense when we come back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Reviewing Network Live Sunday Night NFL Rewatch. Chris Boswell just kicked a 59-yard field goal to give the Steelers the first lead of the night. It was a move that was so quick that NBC, while they were on their replay, was just cutting back as he was kicking the field goal. And I didn't even know how long the field goal was. But 59 yards, that's pretty the norm for Chris Boswell. Pretty much the norm. Chargers going to take this one out. This is Trevion Williams. And Williams will take it out to about the 31-yard line. So that's what I was saying before. A very, by the way, TJ Watt is your Steelers defense. Cam Hayward. Keanu Benton. Derek Harmon, the rookie out of Oregon. Alex Highsmith. Patrick Queen. Peyton Wilson. Darius Slay. Jalen Ramsey. Kyle Duggar. Joey Porter Jr. So, 1st and 10 here. I'll touch on what I was going to say in a little bit. But 1st and 10 for Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Herbert to throw. Going deep down the field for McConkey. Not there. Incomplete. And no flags. Like with the DK Metcalf one. Just a little bit further away. He probably would have got... If he moved a little bit faster, he would have gotten it. But I was trying to say before, we had a lot of upsets today. And, let's just say that the early window killed my predictions pretty fast. I mean, who else was going to pick Miami to beat Buffalo? Honestly, nobody was. But if you are, you're a filthy liar. 2nd down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Play clock to 6. Herbert to throw again. Herbert fires. That's complete. And that is Quentin Johnston for a pickup of 9 yards. 1 yard short of the first down. Of course, 3rd and 1 at the 40. As we come up on 10 minutes to go in this one. Quentin Johnston, of course, the second-year man, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And it looks like they're going tush-push. 3rd and 1. Tush-push, and he doesn't get it. Nothing there, and that means they're probably going again. They're probably going again. If you're not going to get it the first time around, then you're going to try to run it again and see what happens. Clock running, though. Looks like they are indeed going to go. They're going to do it again. Can they stop him again? They probably won't, but we'll see. Or maybe get him to draw off sides. Nope, they're going, and this time I think he got it, just barely. Yeah, just barely. So they got Matlock pushing him, and also number 30, Kino Vildor. I think that's 30. Yep. So that's how we get the first down of the first down of the evening. Matlock. If only this game was on CBS, so we can have promos for Matlock underneath him. Anyway, they give this out to Jarrett Patterson, and not much there. In fact, nothing, I don't think. They may have given him 1 yard, maybe. And okay, Duran, get off of him before you get a flag. Getting a little bit crazy on that one there. So 2nd and 9 coming up. About 8 minutes to go here. Halfway through the first quarter. As we get a look at Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. 2nd and 9. Vildor in the backfield again. Over the throw. Flips it. That's caught. That's Gadsden. The rookie tight end out of Miami. And somebody, like I said, we need to watch out for tonight. Oh, Syracuse. I thought it was a Miami tight end. I could have sworn he was from Miami, but Andre Gadsden. Syracuse, really? Because his father, I think, played for Miami, if I'm not mistaken, right? 3rd and 3 here. I got to do some research while we're doing this. Can the Chargers get another first down? Herbert to throw again. Fires it and nearly intercepted. Joey Porter Jr. had and he knew it. Oh, that would have been a good interception right there. But the good news is that, hey, the Chargers go for 3 and out, not 3 and out because they got the first down, but Chargers will punt. Maybe it is Syracuse. I don't know. Then I could have sworn his father played for Miami, but no. I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading things. Well, I know I'm misreading things, but. So here comes the punting unit. J.K. Scott to punt it away. Good high kick. And gonna go right at the 6-yard line of Pittsburgh. Not a good start for Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, but we'll see what they can do here. 6:47 to go. Steelers holding a 3-0 lead in this Sunday night NFL matchup. Welcome back, everybody, on this Veterans Day weekend as they're showing the NFL salute to service. Happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans out there. God bless you all. Patrick Queen and Jim Harbaugh. Showing them both together. I don't know why, but. So, Steelers are backed up pretty deep. What can they do? We got Caleb Johnson, the rookie out of Oregon, in the backfield. From the 6-yard line. They'll flip it back to Caleb Johnson, who will not get much and will actually lose 2 yards on that one. So 2nd and 12. Caldwell and Mack on the stop there. So that was not a good start for this drive here. So 2nd down and 12 coming up now from Pittsburgh's 4. Second and 12. They clocked to 2, down to 1. They got it off. They'll give it to Johnson again. A little bit better yardage there. Pick up about 5 on that one. So it's 3rd down and 7 coming up. Dayon Henley with the stop. Still have a long way to go to get to that 9-yard line. This is the guy they thought they brought in to replace Najee Harris. I'm still bitter about that. Kenneth Gainwell now coming in. 3rd and 7. have to get to the 16 for the first down. Play clock to 2. Rodgers to throw. Rodgers scrambles. Rodgers got to hurry. Don't go down. Don't go down the end zone. Safety. It's a freaking safety. 3-2 Steelers. It's going to be one of those nights, people. It is going to be one of those nights. All right, so free kick to the Chargers. Like I said, this is going to be really, really bad. I can just already tell. Steelers have always had trouble on the West Coast when it comes to playing these games. They've gotten better in recent years when it comes to playing the Raiders and the Rams, but yeah, moments like that have me extremely worried. .509 to go in the first. Free kick coming up. So there's the kick. Going to take it out. This is Darius Davis. Past the 30 and down to the 34-yard line is where the Chargers drive is going to start. .503 to go. Matlock in the backfield for Vidal. They'll give it to him. Grab about 2 or 3, it looks like. Looks like 3 yards. So far for him, 2 carries, 5 yards on this early part of the evening. Like I said before, Steelers usually have a really tough time over on the West Coast. I mean, as I said, they beat the Rams here, they beat the Seahawks here. They beat the Raiders here in the last couple of years, but you never can tell. You never can tell if anything's going to really change with new people involved here. But 2nd and 7 here. Vidal moving in the backfield with Herbert. Herbert to throw. Might run. He will. And he'll get to the 40-yard line. Pick up of about 3 yards. Patrick Queen on the tackle for that one. 3rd down and 4 coming up. Who's number 33? Is that Jack Sawyer? I don't know. 4 minutes to go in this one here. There's been the big difference maker for Justin Herbert this year. The guy can run. 34 rushing yards so far this season. That's been paid some dividends in critical games, especially that opener against the Chiefs. 3rd and 4. 3:45 to go. Oh, flag down. And a penalty on the Chargers. So now it's 3rd and 9. That's Austin DeCullis who got called on that one. Of course, part of that makeshift offensive line for the Chargers, and he did move a little bit early. So now it's 3rd down and 9. Have to get to the 44 for the first down. From their 35. Herbert to throw. Going for Johnston. Couldn't hold on to it. Incomplete. Darius Slay right there. Big play Slay to make it a quick 3 and out for the Chargers on this one here. So no harm done on the free kick there. But it's now still a 1-possession game at 3-2. A 1-score game at 3-2, not a 1-possession game. I mean, technically it is a 1-possession game, but you get the idea. You get what I'm trying to say here. J.K. Stott got to punt this away to Keyshawn Williams, I believe. Gets this one away. And starting at the 10-yard line is Williams. Past the 20, and down he goes, slammed down at the 21-yard line. A better starting field position for Aaron Rodgers here, but we'll see what he can do. 3-2 Steelers when we come back. Get that AI slop from Coca-Cola off my screen, man. I mean, okay, that commercial looks better than last year's commercial, but at the same time, still not great. I mean, you just want a Coca-Cola Classic commercial, just go watch the classic ones from the 80s and 90s, man. Steelers need to get some help, though, too, because they're slot right now. Punt, field goal, safety. Yeah, they need some help on this drive here. They need to get back on track. 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go, starting at their own 21-yard line. Rodgers is going to throw. Fires it, completes it. That's Metcalf. That's a first down. Pick up 19 yards. There we go. Derwin James and Dante Jackson on the tackle. Good for a big first down to the 40-yard line. Is don't hate, anticipate. Elijah Molden, I think, was in there too, number 2. From the 40-yard line, Warren in the backfield. Ben Skoranek on the move. It's Warren. He'll find a little bit of a crease. Gets about maybe 4 on that one. Tackled by Denzel Perryman. 2nd and 6 coming up with about 2:25 to go here in the first. Steelers up by 1, 3-2. Was the score of the Penguins-Kings game. I think Mike Tirico had already made a joke about that today, but in this game, but 2.4 yards per rush for the Steelers, 1.8 for the Chargers. 2 minutes to go, 2nd and 6. Rodgers to throw, fires it, and that is caught. Darnell Washington for the first down. Pick up a 15 yards into Charger territory at the 41-yard line. The big man. I'm kind of surprised he's not in the open. He wasn't in the starting lineups thing in the beginning, but he's been a big difference maker this season, especially. I mean, they've been getting him more involved, and it's about time too. I mean, he's a Georgia Buckeye, man. 3rd round pick in the 2023 draft when nobody else wanted him. The Steelers took him. 1:16 to go in this first quarter. The Steelers on the move. Warren still in the backfield. They'll flip it to him. Warren has a little bit of a lane. He breaks through one tackler and gets close to the first down at the 32-yard line. 2nd and 1 coming up. Coming up to under a minute to go in the first. You got Spencer Anderson and Darnell Washington making the pathway possible. Excuse me. All right, so 2nd and 1. Warren's still in the backfield. And they're going to call timeout. Steelers going to waste one of their timeouts here. With 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. I'll remind you once again, next Sunday, it's our last of these 4 back-to-back consecutive weeks of Sunday Night NFL Showdowns. As Bo Derek is in the building. Bo, number 10 herself. And Reggie Miller. NBA on NBC. Mookie Betts. Champion with the Dodgers. And Dan Fouts. Where's he been since he left CBS? And Troy Polamalu's here. But anyway, and of course Snoop Dogg's there too because he was with NBC. But what I'm trying to say is that next Sunday will be the end of these 4 consecutive weeks of games. We got the Lions and the Eagles. We will touch more on that as we go along here. But 2nd down and 1 with 25 seconds to go with possibly the last play here before we reach the end of the quarter. Warren still in the backfield. Johnny Smith on the move. Give it to Warren. Breaks away from one tackler and gets through the first down at the 30-yard line. And that is how quarter number 1 will come to a close. Steelers on the move in Charger territory. That took them to the 29-yard line. Scoring position for them. We'll see if they can cash in. It's been an interesting start to this game. Safety for the Chargers. 3 points for Chris Boswell from 59 yards. 3-2. With the second quarter coming up, we take a break. We'll be back with more of the Review Network Live Sunday Night NFL Rewatch in just a moment. Kevin Hartelf, back away, back away. Actually, to be perfectly honest, he actually does not look as bad as some of the AI slop we've seen so far tonight with with the Coca-Cola thing I talked about earlier. But yeah, that will scare you as soon as you open the door and see an elf on the shelf with a Kevin Hart head. It's freaking me out, man. Welcome back, everybody, of course, to the Review Network Live Sunday Night NFL Rewatch. We're about ready to start the second quarter here. Steelers up 3-2. They are on the move, though, as we're getting a look inside of SoFi Stadium. The insides of SoFi Stadium through the cameras of Sunday Night Football. And of course, Dean Spanos. For our friend Urinary Tree, I will just say, fuck you, Spanos. I don't know why, but just throw that in there because Urinary Tree does it all the time. 1st and 10 from the 29. Rodgers. A flip. That's the Pat Freiermuth, who's going to break through one tackle and get close to a first down. Pickup of 9 on that one. Pat Freiermuth, of course. 5th-year man out of Penn State. And, of course, you hear the chants of Muth. So 2nd and 1 coming up. Where is the usage of tight ends on National Tight Ends Day, Aaron Rodgers? Against your former team, nonetheless. I still can't get over that. 2nd and 1 after you get to the 19 for the first down. Jaylen Warren moving around the backfield. Rodgers gives it to Caleb Johnson, who's got a first down. There is a flag down, however, so hold on. And I think it's coming back. Holding. That's on Troy Furtado, number 76, second-year man where's he from? He was the first-round pick for the Steelers last year, not this past year, the year before that. Washington. So that takes a first down away. Takes Caleb Johnson's best run of the night so far away. Not that I don't want Caleb Johnson to fail, man, but you could have had Najee Harris right there, man, honestly. And you probably could have still drafted Caleb Johnson if you needed him. 14 minutes left in the second quarter. 2nd and 10. Rodgers waiting. Rodgers fakes it. Going to throw. Going deep down the field. Wide open and caught! Jonnu Smith for the first down. Pickup of 18 yards. It looked like he was going to drop that, but he did not. Jonnu Smith, of course, one of the big trade acquisitions when Miami traded for him and Jalen Ramsey in exchange for Minka Fitzpatrick. And, yeah, that was... Ooh. That might not be a catch. They're going to challenge it. They probably are going to challenge it. If they're not going to challenge it, it's probably going to go to an expedited review. Ugh. They're going to challenge it. It's probably coming back. They'll take a look at it. We'll step aside, and more than likely it means it's going to come back. Probably. We'll see. The Scarlett Johansson-Lindsey Vonn thing looks like the start of a bad lesbian porn, doesn't it? Like, this is the moment, this is when the build-up before they eventually start making out with each other, which... I don't know. I just have this weird feeling that that's how this whole thing starts off with. But I digress. Though we've got a little preview for the Olympics and of course Jurassic World Dominion, both on Peacock. But I thought they were going straight back to the game. But we should be figuring out an answer to whether or not that was a catch or not. I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's not going to be a catch. It'll probably be an incomplete pass. So we'll see, and we'll see right now. Incomplete pass. I knew it. So they won the challenge. They keep the timeout. And, yeah, that ball touched the ground first. So, yeah, that would not have counted. Now, if it was the Chiefs or the Eagles, they probably would have just kept it going. But no. Not for the Steelers. No. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10 from the 29-yard line. They're still in scoring position to get a field goal. But they want more than that. They want touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield now, it looks like. Maybe. No, he's going out with the receivers. Rodgers on his own. They'll flip it to Gainwell, and he's not going to get much. Might have gotten 2 yards on that one. So it'll be 4th and 8, and out will come Boswell in the field goal unit. So this one's not going to be as long as the 59-yarder from before. It's going to be 45 yards. So to try to make it a 6-2 lead for the Steelers. Clock running at 13:18 from 45 yards. And just missed it. Wide right. Had the distance, but then started moving at the last minute. No good, and the Chargers will start at their own 27-yard line. It's still going to be 3-2. Boswell very rarely misses. Let's see. Yeah, it wasn't a bad kick. It was just a kick that moved too far to the right. I'm not putting that on him, so. Chargers are going to get the ball back. They're in a 30-second commercial, so we'll take a break as well. I'm not as frustrated as I was so far on Sunday, as 2 Sundays ago, mostly because it's good if both either one of these teams win. If the Steelers win, hey, they move ahead of they keep pace away from the Ravens, and for the Chargers, hey, keep pace away from the Kansas City Chiefs. Keep them as far away from you as possible. So hopefully that will mean that I will not be too frustrated if the Steelers lose this one. But Herbert passes this one to Harris, who gets it up to the 40-yard line. And that'll be a 5-yard pickup for them, and it'll be 2nd and 5 coming up with under 13 minutes to go. Herbert's number is 4 of 8, 19 yards, 5 rushing yards for Herbert, 9 yards for Quentin Johnston, who has the 1 reception. So 2nd and 5 coming up. Keep an eye on number 86 of the Steelers defense. Herbert throws it wide open. That's Quentin Johnston. First down right there. Pickup of 8 yards. That takes them to 17 yards on the night so far. New set of downs for the Chargers. Big play Slay was right there to try to get to him, but it was too low, too late. Him and Patrick Queen. Three first downs for the Steelers thus far, 2 for the Chargers. 12 minutes to go here. Took Herbert up to 27 yards on the day so far. From the 48-yard line. Herbert fires it deep down the field and incomplete. Intended for Quentin Johnston. Jalen Ramsey there to stop him, and no flags out. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Steelers defense, of course, has been under a lot of scrutiny so far this year. One of the big ones right there, big play Slay. That's Darius Slay. I thought that was Jalen Ramsey, but Jalen Ramsey came in at the last second. But yeah, he's been one of those guys that has not performed so far, and there was actually the belief that maybe, just maybe, he would get traded before the deadline, but that did not happen. Give this one to Vidal, and Vidal will have a first down into Steeler territory. Takes him down to the 41-yard line. 11:36 to go, and we have an injury on the field. And it's big play Slay who is down. Looks like he's trying to get back up. And he's still down. And he went down again. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, got hit by his own guy. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey, I think, hit him. So, of course, he's being checked out by the medical team. Are they going to go to commercial, or are they just going to keep this going until he gets up? Yeah, he's getting up. Okay, so it looks like we're going to stick with it here. He's been kind of an underachiever so far this season for the Steelers. So I'm going to put in James Pierre. That's been one of the biggest problems for the Steelers, of course. The highest paid defense, and it really does not show on multiple occasions. We've had games so far this season where it has, but there's been a lot of games in particular where that has not really been the case. I mean, last week they showed up against Indianapolis. Green Bay, not so much. So a new set of downs for the Chargers as the clock runs again. 1st and 10 from the 41 of the Steelers. Fake it to Vidal. Herbert to throw. Gadsden's right there and gets about 5 on that one. Rondé Gadsden with a 5-yard pickup there to the 36. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Steelers. For the Chargers, excuse me. As we're at 11 minutes to go in the second. T.J. Watt's been very quiet so far, and that's not good. I don't even know what he was doing. He's not even high enough to get that. Give this one to Darius Davis and gets slammed down by James Pierre. Better be careful that's not a flag. No flags are down, so I think he's good, but he got lucky on that one. So it'll be 3rd and 2 coming up. Darius Davis with the catch, and then body slam by Pierre, like, boom! Is he doing the people's elbow too? The ref was right there too, but no avail. 3rd and 2. Vidal in the backfield again. They'll give it to him. He's getting good, and he's definitely getting good now. Another 1st down for the Chargers at the 25-yard line. Now under 10 minutes to go in this one. Chargers have been without Najee Harris, of course, but they've also been without their first-round running back, Omarion Hampton, who's been out for a couple weeks on injured reserve. I don't know if he's coming back soon or not, but there's Hampton right there. On injured reserve since week 6, so I got to think he's got to be coming back sooner rather than later. I think actually this week's the last time you can put people off of injured reserve. Is it injured people off of injured reserve or something like that? I got to do more research on that, but so 1st and 10. Herbert gets away from and can't get away from the sack. It's Nick Herbig with a big tackle there and a loss of 5 on the play. It looked like Herbert had a lane to get moving, but he couldn't beat Nick Herbig. Loss of 5 on the play. And Herbert's shaken up a little bit, but looks like he's okay. He's not Geno Smith like on Thursday night. I mean, that was brutal. Like at some point you had to take him out of the game before that, Pete Carroll. But yeah, that game was sloppy all around. Even the Broncos, who won that game, didn't deserve the win, if we're being perfectly honest. But 2nd and 15. Herbert to throw again. Herbert fires. Ladd McConkey. 1st down at the 14-yard line. Doing that while he's all still limping too, nonetheless. So they are in the red zone here. The Chargers are at the 14-yard line. A big play there for Ladd McConkey. That took Herbert up to 51 yards on the night. 8 of 13. Under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10. Drive has taken up 9 plays, 51 yards, 5:22. Herbert to throw. Firing to Gadsden. Not there. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Halfway through the second quarter. 7:44 to go. So if Justin Herbert is really get injured here, Trey Lance would be the backup, I just said. But knowing how this league works, Justin Herbert's going to do everything he can to try to stick in here. 2nd and 10. They can still take the lead with a field goal if they don't get to the 1st down. Herbert going back to Gadsden again, and he's not there. Peyton Wilson was on him, but it wasn't enough. So 3rd and 10 coming up. This is Alex Highsmith. They're circling, and He barely touched him. That shouldn't have been a flag. I mean, he just grazed him a little bit. Yeah, Terry McCauley made the point. So 3rd down and 10. Herbert. Scrambling, Herbert firing. The McConkey tipped and nearly intercepted. Kyle Dougler almost had his first Steelers interception. But it's going to be a 4th down. And here comes the field goal unit. Cameron the Dicker to punt it, to try to kick it to give the Chargers the 2-point lead. That's one Duggar should have had. He had it right there, too. Just couldn't hold on to it. This should be a chippy here for Dicker, 32 yards. That one almost blocked, but through. So the Chargers take their first lead of the night, a very low-scoring game, 5-3. With 7:32 to go, Steelers try to respond. Will they? We'll find out after this. Stumble, a.k.a. NBC's desperate answer to try to mimic Abbott Elementary. I mean, it's literally the same type of show. And if we're being honest, it's literally the same show as, say, Dennis Medical. Like, we're just doing the Office mockumentary-style format that worked with that in Parks and Recreation. And let's see if we can do it with all these other shows. And so far, none of them have really done that. I don't know, I haven't seen Stumble, but... Notre Dame High School, which, by the way, if you didn't hear the news already, Pitt Notre Dame is going to be a college game day next Saturday. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Don't know if I'm going to be there right where it starts, but we'll definitely be down there for when they come in during game time, but when the game starts. But Cameron Dicker kicks us away to Kenneth Gainwell, who takes us down to about the 28-yard line. That's where the Steelers will start this drive. We got Justin Herbert update. Something we might monitor here. We might see Trey Lance before the night is over. Making sure Justin Herbert's ready to go. Steelers need to get something going here. Gainwell on the move. Empty backfield for Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers gets away from one, but can't get away from the other. And guess who? It's Bud Dupree, the former Steeler. Of course, Bud Dupree started his career with the Steelers not on the best note, but hey, as the years went on, he went on to become a pretty damn good defensive player for the team, and then they just basically got rid of him for table scraps. So it'll be 2nd and 11, I think it is. 2nd and 11, 6:50 to go. Give this one to Warren, and Warren should be able to move up a little bit to about the 30-yard line, so not much, about 3 yards on that one. 3rd down coming up. Steelers need to respond quickly. They have not been very good so far in this first half. It makes no sense. The Steelers started the year off very good on the opening drives of the game, and then absolutely nothing since then. 3rd and 8, no 3rd down conversions as of yet. With 6 minutes to go. Rodgers again alone in the backfield. Fires it. Going deep down the field, and nearly intercepted. Nico Reed nearly had that interception. And nothing once again for the Steelers. Pittsburgh gonna punt. 5:55 to go. It is not looking good. Punts away. Waitman punts it to Darius Davis, and it's going to be at the 19-yard line. Now the question is going to be, are we going to see Herbert or are we going to see Lance? 5-3, Chargers with the lead. We'll find our answer. We'll have our answer when we come back. Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. Chargers about to get the ball next. As we're looking at a graphic of the Steelers with Snoop Dogg at the forefront. Got him holding all these signs up. Snoop Dogg, the proclaimed Steelers fan, although he does flip-flop teams at various times. But starting at the 19-yard line are the Chargers. Justin Herbert looks like he's back in the game. This was Vidal again, and once again, Vidal just slicing through this defense. Another 11-yard pickup. First down. That's another player we got to watch out for tonight. Not just Gadsden, but Vidal too. And now that Justin Herbert is limping and injured, that's more than likely meaning we're going to see a lot of him going forward for the rest of the night. So 1st and 10 now from the 36. 5:15 to go. Herbert to throw. That's complete to Quentin Johnston. Breaks away from one tackle, but does not get enough. It's about 3 on that one, so 2nd down and 7 coming up. Eccles was credited for the tackle there, as we're now under 5 minutes to go. Chargers will get the ball to start the second half, so a chance to double up here for them. We see what the numbers are for Jalen Ramsey when he's a slot cornerback. Week 1 through 831, now 55 as a safety. 2nd down and 7 with 4:44 to go. Herbert in the backfield on his own, but here comes Vidal. Herbert to throw. Flips it. Incomplete. Intended for Gadsden, but we have a flag down. Looks like it's going to be holding on the offense, maybe? Or, yep, holding on the offense. That's the center, Bradley Bozeman, who gets called on the tackles on the holding. So, 2nd and 17 now from the 23 coming up. Second and 17. Yeah, I don't know how to explain that one either. That was me stretching, by the way. Vidal on the move. Herbert flips it back to Vidal. Vidal has a little bit of a lane. He's going to get past one, but not the other. But it'll be 3rd down coming up. Got a good gain, though. 13 yards on that one to make it 3rd and manageable. 3rd down and 4 with 4:10 to go. .48 total yards for Vidal thus far. 3rd and 4. Herbert to throw. Herbert can't get away from one tackler, and they can't get away from the other. Keanu Benton with a tackle right there. A sack of -7. It's going to be 4th down, 3, and it's going to be a 3 and out for the Chargers. I think Peyton Wilson, 2nd-year man out of I think NC State, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he got to him first, and then Keanu Benton with a sack. Keanu Benton. You ever see Markiplier and Bob and Wade play Monopoly? That's where I got that from. J.K. Scott kicked that away. That's not Monopoly. It's the half dead game. So Keyshawn Williams catches the fair catch at the 23-yard line. I can't remember what was that game, but I'll check it out just to see afterwards. But the records right now: Steelers hanging on to the AFC North lead for now, but the Ravens are not too far behind. Got that big one today against Minnesota. Cleveland, of course, lost to the Jets. Broncos won on Thursday night to the Raiders. Chiefs and the Bengals, though, are sitting on their bye week. So either way, if we can find a way to keep either the Ravens and the Chiefs from moving up, I think we all win. So 3 minutes even to go here in the second. Steelers have to get something on this drive. They've been very sluggish so far in this game. From the 22. This is Warren. And not much there. About 4 yards on that one. ESPN was taking a long time to upload. Yeah, it's called Half Dead, by the way. Half Dead 2 was, I think, was where I got that from. Because one of the guys, the characters in that game look like Keanu Reeves as John Wick, but that's where I got that from. So 2nd and 6 coming up for the Steelers. Pat Fryermuth on the move. Play clock to 2. Might be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Rodgers fires. Intercepted! R.J. Mickens with the pick. Yeah, this isn't going to end well. So the Chargers now in scoring position. Threw it right to him. Literally threw it right into his hands. So 1st down and 10 for the Chargers at the 38-yard line. As Vidal in the backfield. And Vidal's got another lane down to the 30-yard line. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Like I said, it's going to be one of those nights, people. A reminder, coming up next, it's the Reviewing Network Live NFL Sunday Night NFL Rewatch Halftime Report. We'll take a look at the scores and plays and highlights from Week 10 early on, and of course the weekend box office that'll be coming up as Vidal gets this ball to start the drive here, and they'll get another 1st down. But as I mentioned, we'll take a look at the highlights and scores from the games earlier today, and of course weekend box office coming up on the Sunday Night NFL Halftime Report coming up after this. These last couple minutes where it looks like the Chargers is going to keep going down the field and just keep pulling further away as they'll get a double-up play, and that's just what it's looking like right now. 1st and 10, under 90 seconds to go. Steelers, I think, are just fully aware that they're going to give up points. Herbert to throw. It's to Johnston. Breaks away from one tackle, but gets down to about the 20-yard line. Pick up of 7, 2nd and 3 coming up. Friendly fire play by Duggar. Yeah, so more than likely he ain't coming back. 3rd and 1. Herbert fires it, completes it to Gadsden. Not going to get the 1st down. And it does stop the clock, so Steelers could get it back figuratively, but probably not. But we'll see. Chargers, though, are going to take a timeout, it looks like. And it looks like they will, with 49 seconds to go. .49 seconds to go, 3rd and 1. Steelers trying to hoping that they can try to get the ball back, but they get the 1st down. I think the Steelers just let them score. Don't even bother with the timeouts. Vidal in the backfield still. Give it to him. Vidal's got the 1st down. Gonna drain this clock down and kick the field goal. 1st and 10. Letting a lot of time going off the clock. Chargers still have 2 timeouts, too. They get it off. Herbert fires it. That is incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target on that one, so it'll be 16 seconds left. Still have 2 timeouts, so they can throw it into the end zone if they want to. Herbert to throw. Wide open. Ladd McConkey for the touchdown. Seven plays, 38 yards, 1 minute, 57 seconds. Dicker for the extra point. No problems. 12-3 Chargers. So finally, after 3 pointless plays that led to absolutely nothing, we go to the half. With the Chargers up 12-3, get that late touchdown, and basically all the momentum is on their side. So, with that said, welcome to the Reviewing Network Live Sunday Night NFL Halftime Report. And we're going to start off by taking a look at some of the highlights and scores from the day today. It was a day where things that should have happened didn't happen the way I was expecting them to, but some things that did go in my favor did go that way. I'll start off, of course, with the game that started it all today in Berlin, Germany. The Indianapolis Colts came back in a good game today against the Atlanta Falcons. Jonathan Taylor having probably one of the best days for running back in NFL history. I'd have to look back and see, but 32 carries, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Colts with a big win over the Falcons in overtime, 31-25. They go to the bye week 8-2. They are tied with the Broncos for the best record in the AFC. Falcons, however, dropped to 3-6 on that loss. The Bears came back in the game in the fourth quarter, where the Giants were leading for the most part, and then once again they blew another double-digit lead. It didn't help that Jackson Dart got taken out of the game with a concussion. So Russell Wilson came in. I think what you throw him in there, the Bears are pretty much looking at this and going like, "Oh, we're gonna win this game with these." And sure enough, that's exactly what they did. It was a close battle all the way to the end, but the Bears once again with another dominant win, 24-20. The final score. Bears moved to 6-3. Giants are 2-8 to begin the season. Jackson Dart had 19-29 for 242 yards. DeAndre Swift 13 carries for 80 yards. Darius Slayton 4 receptions, 89 yards, and no touchdowns. I believe he did not have. I have to double check again. But Saints shocked the Panthers today. They were 1-8 coming into that game, but Tyler Shough gets his first official win as a member of as a Saints rookie quarterback. He beats the Panthers 17-7. Shough had 2 touchdowns on the day, 19-27 for 282 yards. Alvin Kamara 22 carries for 83 yards. Chris Olave with a 100-yard day, 5 receptions, 104 yards plus the touchdown. Rams get the revenge on the 49ers for the Thursday night debacle. They beat up on the 49ers pretty good, 42-26. Rams moved to 7-2. 49ers dropped to 6-4. Mac Jones 33 of 39, 319 for 3 touchdowns. Kyron Williams 14 carries, 73 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Rams. George Kittle 9 receptions, 84 yards and 1 touchdown. The shocking score of the day, the Miami Dolphins somehow, someway found a way to blank out the Buffalo Bills, who looked lifeless today. This was easily the worst performance of the entire weekend. And that's saying a lot considering how the Steelers are doing right now and how the Raiders did on Thursday night, and the Broncos as well. But yeah, Tua Tagovailoa looked like he was in prime 2022 form, which coincidentally was the last time they beat the Bills in Miami. 30-13 was the final score. Dolphins moved up to 3-7. Bills moved to 6-3. Josh Allen 28 of 40, 306 yards, 2 touchdowns. Critical fumbles for the Dolphins defense to take advantage of. Devin Achane with a banner day, 22 carries, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, who could have been a Buffalo Bill at the trade deadline, but the Dolphins said, we're not trading you in the division. 5 receptions, 84 yards, and 1 touchdown. The Ravens are back on track. They moved back up to 4-5, dominating the Vikings all day today, 27-19. J.J. McCarthy, 20 of 42 for 248 yards and 1 touchdown. Derrick Henry, 20 carries, 75 yards. Jalen Naylor was at a big day, 5 receptions, 124 yards and 1 touchdown. How about the Jets? The Jets beat the Browns, and it was mostly thanks to their special teams. The special teams got the first 14 points of the game, but the Jets found a way to get the win. They beat the Browns 27-20. The Jets moved to 2-7. Browns dropped to 2-7. Dylan Gabriel's number, 17 of 32, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. Breece Hall, 21 carries, 83 yards. Jerry Jeudy, 6 receptions, 78 yards, and 1 touchdown. Patriots are just basically taking control of the AFC East. It was a close one today. 28-23 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield had 3 touchdowns. 28-43, 273 on the day. Travion Henderson had a banner day. 14 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. Emeka Egbuka for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 6 receptions, 115 yards, and 1 touchdown. The Jaguars were up 29-10 in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and then they blew that lead to Davis Mills and the Houston Texans. I could not believe that when that happened. But the Texans pull off a big win over the Jaguars, 36-29. Jaguars dropped to 5-4. Texans dropped to move up to 4-5. Davis Mills' day, 27-45, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns. Woody Marks, 14 carries, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Nico Collins, 7 receptions, 136 yards on the day. Seahawks just completely dominated over the Arizona Cardinals, and it wasn't even close. It was 35-7 it was 38-7 at the half, and the final score was 44-22. I mean, it was not even close. Seahawks dropped to 7-2, moved to 7-2. Cardinals are 3-6. Jacoby Brissett's day, 22 of 44, 258 yards and 2 touchdowns. Zach Charbonnet, 14 carries, 83 yards, 1 touchdown. Frederick Rye, 9 receptions, 127 yards and 1 touchdown. And one last score here. The Commanders are not commanding anybody anymore. They look like a total clusterfuck without Jaden Daniels there. But the Lions do win it 44-22. This one wasn't even close either. Jared Goff, 25 of 33, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Jameson Williams, 6 receptions, 119 yards, and 1 touchdown. So yeah, 44-22, Lions up to 6-3, Commanders drop to 3-7. Those are the scores for week number 10. When we come back, we'll take a look at the box office results for the weekend. Welcome back, and at the box office this weekend, we have a slew of new titles in the top 5 this weekend. But one big one in particular we'll get to later on. Let's start with number 5, and we have Nuremberg, a movie about a World War II psychologist battling Nazi leaders before the Nuremberg trials, growing increasingly obsessed with understanding evil as he forms a disturbing bond with Hermann Göring. Just saw the previews for this just in the last couple of days, so I don't even think they were really selling this movie all that much, but let me see who's in this movie. That's some notable names. Russell Crowe is in here. Rami Malek, John Slattery, Colin Hanks. So there's a couple big names here. Richard E. Grant, Michael Shannon. Directed by James Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, of course, is somebody who's written stuff for he's written movies like Zodiac and Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Scream, the 2022 Scream and its sequel. So there's some names involved in here, but I don't know how good this did. $4.1 million in about 1,800 theaters. I guess it's not bad business overall for a film that didn't really have a whole lot of high box office expectations to begin with, one would think, but... Anyway, number 4, we have Sarah's Oil, the remarkable true story of 11-year-old Sarah Rector, an African-American girl born in Oklahoma Indian Territory in the early 1900s, who believed that there is oil beneath the barrenness that she's allotted and whose faith is proven right. This is a film that features Zachary Levi among its people involved in here. It's a faith-based movie by MGM and did okay business, $4.5 million this weekend. Not the worst business that's from MGM. Number 3, Black Phone 2, which dropped from the number 1 spot last weekend. $5.3 million, dropped from 36% from last week. $70.1 million after 4 weeks. And if you want me to compare the 2022 original release of the Black Phone after 4 weeks, I believe that was right around here. about $2 million short. $72 million was where the original Black Phone was at, so not too far behind from the Black Phone, but not one that's going to be like anything too extravagant overall. But it could lead to another sequel down the road. Probably the smallest drop of all this weekend was Regretting You, which was originally the #1 movie last week, but after the final numbers were out, Black Phone 2 just barely beat it, but had the smallest drop-off of the releases this week, 8.9%, $7.1 million, bringing its 3-week total now to $38.6 million. I think this was a $45 million budgeted film. It's already at $70 million worldwide, so it should be doing pretty well. It's doing good business overall, and should continue to make its money back as time goes on. So, but let's get to the #1 new release of the weekend, and that is, of course, Predator: Badlands, which, unlike Tron: Ares last month, this one had a much better opening than that film did. Predator: Badlands cost $105 million to make, so this one did pretty well, $40 million even, which is good because it started off with the estimates being around $33 million, and then yesterday it was up to like $36, $39 million, and then the final numbers came out, $40 million. If you include worldwide numbers, it's up to $80 million. It's already closing in on its budget overall, and Disney desperately needed a hit this badly, so yeah, so they're going to get their hit out of this overall, and I saw it. It was actually really good. I actually thought it was actually very well done. It is very much like the Terminator 2 of the Predator franchise, and also the fact that they did everything they could in that movie with a PG-13 rating nonetheless. It was very impressive on their own merits there, so there you go. Predator: Badlands is #1 this weekend. Will probably not be #1 next weekend, with the big release being The Running Man with Glenn Powell. We'll see how that one turns out overall, and then after that, it's all about Wicked for Good and Zootopia 2 for the holiday rush, so there you go. That's the NFL. That's the the Reviewing Network Live NFL Sunday Night NFL Rewatch halftime report. We'll get back to the Steelers and Chargers. See if the Steelers can pull off a comeback here. Not looking good after the way they started. After the way that first half ended. So 12-3 Chargers. They'll get the ball back. We'll see you in a little bit.